Welcome to Graceland Online Tutorial. Our topic today is simultaneous linear equations using substitution method, part 2. Simultaneous linear equations using substitution method, part 2. Solve the equations f plus g over 2 is equal to 1 over 2 and f over 2 minus g over 6 is equal to one whole number 1 over 2. Now, let's take f plus g over 2 is equal to 1 over 2 as equation 1. And then f over 2 minus g over 6 is equal to one whole number 1 over 2 as equation 2. Now, since the equations are in fractions, so we'll need to clear the fractions. So how do we clear the fractions? Let's start with equation 1. To clear the fractions in equation 1, I will multiply equation 1 by 2. Why? Because the LCM there, the LCM is going to be 2. So you multiply the equation 1 by 2. Now, let's do that. F times 2 will be equal to 2f. G over 2 times 2. 2 will cancel 2. Then we are left with plus g. 1 over 2 times 2. 2 cancels 2. Now we have 1 times 1, that will be 1. So this is going to be equal to 1. And that is going to give us equation 3. So we have 2f plus g is equal to 1, and that is our equation 3. Now, in equation 2, to clear the fractions, the LCM here is 6. Therefore, we multiply the fractions or clear the fractions by multiplying equation 2 by 6. Now, f over 2 times 6 is going to be 2 cancel 2 in 6 is 3. So 3 times f will give us 3f. Minus g over 6 times 6. 6 cancel 6. We are left with minus g. Then 1½ multiplied by 6. The 1½ is going to be 3 over 2. Then 2 in 6 is going to be 3. So 3 times 3 is equal to 9. So 3f minus g will equal to 9 is going to be our equation 4. Now, using equations 3 and 4, we can use substitution method. Now, from equation 3, I'm going to calculate the value of g. So in equation 3, we have g is equal to 1, then 2f will move to the other side, and that will turn to minus 2f. So g is equal to 1 minus 2f is going to be our equation 5. Now, from equation 3, g is equal to 1 minus 2f, and that stands as equation 5, as I said earlier. Now, we are going to substitute this value, 1 minus 2f, for g in equation 4. Remember, equation 4 is 3f minus g is equal to 9. So this is going to be 3f minus, remember, the g you have where will now be 1 minus 2f in bracket, which is equal to 9. Now let's simplify further by multiplying minus by all that you have in the bracket. Now 3f minus times 1 will give us minus 1. Then minus times minus 2f will give us plus 2f, which is equal to 9. So we have 3f plus 2f equal to 9. Move minus 1 to the right hand side, and that will give us plus 1. So what is 3f plus 2f? 5f is equal to 9 plus 1 will be equal to 10. To calculate the value of f, divide both sides by 5. So 5f over 5, 5 cancels 5. You have f is equal to 10 over 5. So 5 in 10 is 2. So f is going to be equal to 2. Now, substitute 2 for f in equation 5. Remember, equation 5 is g equal to 1 minus 2f. Now, this is going to be g is equal to 1 minus 2. Remember, f is going to be 2. So, in brackets, 2. So, g is equal to 1 minus 2 times 2 will give us minus 4. So, g is going to be equal to 1 minus 4. That will give us minus 3. Now, our final answer is going to be f is equal to 2 and g is equal to minus 3. Now, let's look at this last question. Solve the equations 3d minus e plus 12 is equal to 5d plus 2e plus 4 is equal to d plus e. Wow, don't be confused. It is very easy to solve. All you just need to do, pair the expressions in any two different ways. You can say 3d minus e plus 12 is equal to 5d plus 2e plus 4, and that will be equation 1. Or you say 3d minus e plus 12 is equal to d plus e as equation 2. Or you can even decide to take 5d plus 2e plus 4 is equal to d plus e. All you just need to do there is to pair the expressions in any two different ways. Now look at what I have here. 3d minus e plus 12 is equal to d plus e. That is the first expression I have there. Now, 3d minus d minus e will be equal to minus 12. So what I did there was to collect the like terms. Now you have 3d here. D will move to the left hand side and then turns to minus d. Then the minus e we have here, the plus e here will move to the left hand side and turns to minus e, which is equal to the plus 12 we have here will move to the right hand side and turn to minus 12. So 3d minus d is going to give us 2d. Minus e will give us minus 2e, which is equal to minus 12. And that is going to be our equation 1. Now let's form another expression. And that is 5d plus 2e plus 4 is equal to d plus e. Now let's simplify. 5d, okay? Move d from this side to the left hand side, and that will turn to minus d. Then plus 2e, move plus e to the left hand side, and that will turn to minus e, which is equal to the plus 4 we have here, move it to the right hand side, and that will give us minus 4. Now 5d minus d will give us 4d, plus 2e minus e will give us plus e is equal to minus 4. So we have our equation 2. Now using substitution method. Now from equation 2, where we have 4d plus e is equal to minus 4 will now be E. I want to find the value of E there now. E will be equal to minus 4. Then 4D will move to the right hand side, and that will turn to minus 4D. So we have E is equal to minus 4 minus 4D as equation 3. Now we will substitute minus 4 minus 4D for E in equation 1. Don't forget, equation 1 is 2D minus 2E is equal to minus 12. Now, we have 2D minus 2. Now, where we have E, replace it with minus 4 minus 4D. So this will be open bracket minus 4 minus 4D, then you close the bracket, equal to minus 12. 2D. Now multiply minus 2 by all that you have in the bracket. Minus 2 times minus 4 will give us plus 8. Minus 2 times minus 4D will give us plus 8D, which is equal to minus 12. Now, collect the like terms. 2D plus 8D will be equal to minus 12. This plus 8 will move to the right hand side, and that will turn to minus 8. 2D rather, let me take that again. 2D plus 8D is going to be equal to 10D, which is going to be equal to minus 12 minus 8 will give me minus 20. So, how do we calculate the value of D? You calculate the value of D by dividing both sides by 10. Now, 10D over 10. 10 cancels 10. We are left with D is equal to minus 20 over 10, which is going to be minus 20 over 10. So 10 in 20 is 2. So D is going to be equal to minus 2. Now that we have gotten the value of D, we can substitute minus 2 for D in equation 3. Equation 3 is E is equal to minus 4 minus 4D. So this is going to be E is equal to minus 4 minus 4. Then the D is minus 2 in bracket. So E is equal to minus 4. Then minus 4 times minus 2 will give plus 8. So E is going to be equal to minus 4 plus 8 is going to give us 4. So our final answer is going to be D is equal to minus 2 and E will be equal to 4. That brings us to the end of today's tutorial. Thank you for watching this video. I want to plead with you again. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Graceland Tutorial. Kindly share the video and then like the video. Success is yours.